Hi everyone and welcome to this week's ScubaTube. In today's show we're going to be talking about being lost at sea, a zombie outbreak and an underwater discovery. So before we dive straight into the news, first of all we're filming this yesterday, hence why I'm dressed up and James is just a bit of a stick in the mud. Yeah, lots of comments in the, put some comments below to shame him because he didn't dress up. So first of all, lost and found. A pair of Americans and their dogs have been found and rescued after being stranded in the Pacific for 5 months. Jennifer Apple and Tasha Fuiba set off, I've got an eye patch, man. It's hard enough at the best of times. They set off with their 2 dogs from Hawaii in early May, headed for Tahiti. But a large storm on May 30th flooded their engine and damaged their sail and mast. So they had plenty of food and the ability to process salt water into drinking water, so they decided to continue on with their journey until, well, just using what sail power they had left. After 2 months lost and off course, they began sending out daily distress calls, but they were too far away from anyone to hear or find them. So their 18-day trip then became a 5-month survival ordeal that found them eventually 10,000 kilometers away from where they first set off from. It was, so if you got Hawaii up here, Tahiti's like south, and they were found like over here, south of Japan. So they were found by a Taiwanese fishing vessel, and they contacted the US Navy, who rescued the 2 women and their dogs, who say that the dogs were the main reason that kept them going, just their sort of upbeatness. The dogs were so happy, they were like, oh, okay. The main reason that they survived, though, was that they brought a year's worth of dry food with them, and when they were rescued, they'd made it down to maybe like 10% of their food.
So they used a year's supply in how long?
5 months.
Wow. To be fair, didn't the dogs eat the food as well?
Yeah, they ran out of dog food fairly quickly, so the dogs had to eat. They had like porridge oats and dry stuff.
Okay.
So the dogs ended up eating that. But yeah,
wow.
Stuck on a boat for 5 months in the middle of the Pacific. That's
incredible story though.
Oh
That's
yeah,
really incredible.
Oh yeah. And every time you stock up your boat from now on, it's always going to be, oh, I'm just going to fill it with food.
Yeah. It's a bit weird they to put a year's supply of food in there.
For an 18-day trip.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good thing that they did though.
Okay, now on to our next story. Orange marsh zombies. It must be Halloween as a new parasite is spreading across the waterways of New England, creating a zombie outbreak of the local marsh hoppers. Researchers are recording the effects of sewage and agricultural runoff have noticed a new and disturbing epidemic amongst the local amphipods. You even helped me there.
I did it phonetically.
Don't worry, Sean's back next week. These little critters are normally brown and hide in the shadows, but recently a new parasite has arisen that infects the host and turns it into a zombie, controlling it from within. The parasite turns it from a muddy brown colour to a bright orange and forces it to walk out into the open so it will be eaten by birds to complete the parasite's life cycle again. While there shouldn't be any cause for alarm for us humans at the moment, scientists do warn that the increase in the parasite population and efficiency could be due to our runoff. And they go on to say that runoff could also increase other parasites and diseases that do affect us, like malaria. Yeah. There's, seems to be more and more of this every day I hear about.
Well, I think just because they're sort of increasing the studies and they're actually understanding the fact that, yeah, if you pump all of this agricultural runoff, you've got more nutrients, so then all the small stuff just blooms. And in this case, it's some parasite that kills these little, they're like sand fleas or whatever. It kills them, changes their colour so they're really bright and obvious, and it forces their dead body to jump out into the open so that a bird will eat it. Wow. That's creepy.
So there's a zombie parasite that infects fish.
Yep.
amphibians, and there's also one that infects loads of different insects.
Yep.
So you know what's next, don't you?
It's coming.
Yep.
Moving swiftly on, an underwater restaurant. So 2019 may see Europe's first underwater restaurant, simply called Under. This submerged restaurant is being designed by Snøhetta and will be built on the Norwegian southern coast. Wow. Plan to seat between 80 to 100 guests. The entrance to the restaurant is going to be on the shoreline that will then take you down under the waves, so you eat with this huge glass wall overlooking the local marine life. Wow. While the menu hasn't been released yet, some believe that it's going to be fairly focused on seafood. Yeah.
Is it going to be like a lobster restaurant, so where you just pick
your food? Yeah, there's this guy on the top with a big net. Already, that one? Yeah, all right.
Sounds interesting.
It does. I mean, the promo sort of artwork and whatnot, it looks a bit dark inside, which I think is what they're going for. It's fairly like under the sea, but classy.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll see what comes from that. So have you guys seen our latest video, 10 mistakes that newbie divers make, where we look at some common mistakes that new divers make in an effort to help them out in a light-hearted way. If you haven't seen it, click on the link that's just popped up or in the description below.
Underwater Native American carvings. Master diver Annette Spaulding has found Native American carvings in a rock in a river in southern Vermont. The water level rose in 1909 when a dam in Vernon was built, flooding the area where the carving was found. The rising water covered at least 3
petroglyphs
sites near where 2 rivers combine. Details of where the carvings exactly were has been lost to time, so for the past 30 years, Spaulding has been searching the area looking for them. On a recent dive, Spaulding noticed a wing among the other rocks that she now has to confirm is one of the 3 rock carvings believed to be in the area. So far, among the cars, planes and other artifacts in the water, Spaulding has found a pair of eagles and a face carving, while everything is covered in sand. And it looks the same, so it's hard to confirm exactly which
petroglyph
she's found, but the local Native American community and the Vermont Land Trust are working to purchase a 2-acre parcel of private land along the river to save it as a protected area. Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a petroglyph is kind of like a American totem pole,
right? Okay.
But they've kind of carved pictures into them, which is cool. Unfortunately, after they built the dam, the river, these things, they were built on like the side of the river. Of course, the river just went and just submerged them. And she's working off like a drawing from a 10-year-old in like the 1980s
really?
or something. And she's trying to work out which one it is, because there's supposed to be 3 in the area. One of them has 3 eagles, another one has 2 eagles, and other bits and bobs, and she's trying to work out exactly where it is. But yeah, so the local Native Americans are just planning to just buy the land, turn it into some sort of sacred area so that people can visit. But yeah, she's literally looking for a rock in a pile of rocks covered in sand. So yeah, she spent a long time trying to find these.
Fascinating piece of American history.
Yeah. So new shark footage. Marine researchers looking to record local shark numbers off the Kermadec Islands off New Zealand using a BRUV camera, which stands for Baited Remote Underwater Video. They're hoping to catch glimpses of local shark species just swimming by. They're interested in the sort of smell of the bait, and they'll get caught on camera. While they saw the usual species sort of swimming past, the ones that they're expecting, one visitor was a little unexpected. A male great white shark, who they've now called Kermit. Alright.
Have they watched the Muppets?
He looks nothing like Kermit the Frog. So Kermit was recorded checking the BRUV out before playing about with it. After a couple of nibbles, just to see what it was, Kermit actually picks up the entire camera rig, swims it up to the surface and then drops it. And he did that like 3 times.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, yeah.
Oh, way over time.
So great white sharks aren't usually seen in the area, but it isn't unheard of, and the researchers were quite happy to catch this kind of behaviour from a great white shark. It's cool. They've seen them in the area before, but it's never really been properly documented.
Yeah.
So
Never seen a shark play before.
no, that's another thing they're quite excited with, just to see that shark kind of pick it up.
Wow.
We also found some underwater footage of a bear hunting in the water that you might like. We'll put a link to that in the description below. It's kind of intimidating because I don't know whether he used a massive like boom stick or whether he is just that.
Are you talking about the bear or?
No. The bear's in the water and he's just kind of like got his face in the water and he's just waiting for a fish to come by. But as he like lunges towards a fish, the cameraman's like, whoa. But that's it for this week's ScubaTube. Sean should be back next week, so say goodbye to James.
Bye.
He'll go back to hiding behind the camera, and we'll just make sure he dresses up next year. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and safe diving.
Bye.